Alright, we have started on our journey. We are just into Wisconsin right now. As you can see, we're in our 12-person van that sits at least eight comfortably. So far we are at 3/4 of a tank. Hopefully that'll get us down to maybe like Tomar, Madison, maybe we'll refuel there. Anyways, look out for next update soon. Woo!
Okay, for a one-week stay in Panama City, we chose to travel in a Ford E350 XLT van. Here's just a couple specs on that. It's got a fuel tank capacity of 33 gallons with a seating capacity of 8 to 12 people. From fueleconomy.gov, we have the miles per gallon estimated at 10 to 13 with an estimated fuel cost per year of $4,850. It also has an annual petroleum consumption of 30 barrels with an estimated greenhouse gas emission of 808 grams per mile. However, this doesn't come from direct test results because it came from a conversion factor. This is our route that we chose to take. We started in Minneapolis, Minnesota, went to Hinsdale, Illinois to pick up one of our friends who started his journey there. And then we traveled straight down to Panama City on 65 from there, basically. I'm not sure if you can see on the resolution on the photo there, but it was about a 1,339, so 1,339 mile trip, give or take 100 miles for stops.
This is our first stop. We made it from Minneapolis to Wisconsin, mile marker 160, filling up the big beast here. But it is flex fuel, so we have that after all.
When we say something's flex fuel, it means that it's a vehicle designed to run on either gasoline or up to 85% ethanol. However, those vehicles typically get 25 to 30% less miles per gallon when fueled with E85. So for our vehicle, that makes the average miles per gallon 7.25 to 9.425 miles per gallon, which is significantly less and really hurts us. When we stopped in Edgerton, Wisconsin, we traveled a total of 290.1 miles. At that gas station, we filled up 25.002 gallons at $3.41 per gallon, and that comes to about 11.6 miles per gallon for that trip. So overall, really not bad.
Alright, we are here for our second fill-up. As you can see, it is night out. Here it's looking at regular gasoline is, you can't really see it on there, but it's $3.75 for regular unleaded.
For the second tank, we stopped in Columbus, Indiana from Edgerton, Wisconsin for a total of 354 miles. We filled up 26.297 gallons. That comes to 13.5 miles per gallon, which is an overall improvement from the previous leg of our journey, so that's great. For the rest of the trip, our third leg was from Columbus, Indiana to Columbia, Tennessee for 293 miles. We filled up 18.13 gallons for a total of 16.2 miles per gallon, and this makes sense because it was only highway driving and you typically get better miles per gallon on the highway. The fourth leg was from Columbia, Tennessee to Hope Hull, Alabama for 253 miles. We filled up 18.536 gallons for a total of 13.65 miles per gallon, but we kind of ran into construction on this leg, so that's kind of accounts for why that's less miles per gallon. Our fifth and final leg was from Hope Hull, Alabama to Panama City, Florida for a total of 177 miles. We filled up 15.034 gallons for a total of 11.8 miles per gallon, and I kind of contribute that to the winding Alabama roads. We weren't driving on the highway. So if we add up all the average miles per gallon, we get 66.8, and if we divide that by the 5 legs, we get an average of 13.36 miles per gallon for the trip, which is pretty good. It's a little bit better than the estimated ones on the website. Now let's calculate a hypothetical trip from Minnesota to Panama City Beach if we were flying. The trip would have started in Minneapolis, had a layover in Atlanta, and then gone to Panama City from there. From Minnesota to Georgia, we would have taken an Airbus A320 jet, and then from Georgia to Florida, we would have ridden in a Boeing 717-200 jet. Alright, if we had flown our first leg of the journey, would have been in an Airbus A320 jet. That is a flight distance of about 897.72 miles from Minneapolis to Georgia. The Airbus has a max fuel capacity of 7,185.48 gallons with a max range of 3,790.36 miles. So if we calculate the max fuel efficiency, if they were taking the longest flight they could, we would come to a 0.528 miles per gallon. That's probably a little high because of a bunch of various other factors that go into that, but just for our purposes, it's fine. So if we were to divide our flight distance by our fuel efficiency, it would use up 1,700.227 gallons, and if we were to divide that by the 9 people in our car, it would have been 189 gallons. However, considering that the max capacity of the Airbus is typically 150, the actual gallon per person is 11.334 gallons per person, which is really good. It's why flying is one of the best methods of travel. For the second leg of our journey, we would have been flying in a Boeing 717-200 jet. The flight distance between Georgia and Panama City would be 220.41 miles. And there's a bunch of calculations on here. Basically, Boeing calculates their fuel capacity using pounds, so I've kind of just done a quick conversion. Anyways, the max fuel capacity for the Boeing 717 is 3,624.3 gallons with a max range of 1645.64 miles. So if we calculate the fuel efficiency, it comes to 0.454 miles per gallon. So the total gas usage for the flight divided by the fuel efficiency comes to 485.48 gallons used for that flight. And if you divide that by the 9 people in our car, that comes to 53.9 gallons per person. But once again, considering the max capacity of a Boeing 717 is 106 people, the actual gallon per person is 0.51 gallons. That's insane. What a great use of fuel. So if you look at the total gallons while driving, it's 103. Divide that by 9 people, we get about 11.44 gallons per person. And if you look at the gallons per person while flying, it's 11.4844 gallons per person. So basically the efficiency was almost the same.